Hello, humans, ocelots, monkeys, whatever you perceive yourself to be. I am Gen X Mystic, and I'm here today to talk to you about a concept I've got, which I think needs to be really recognized when it comes to the human condition, and it comes to human freedom and our ability to speak honestly. And that concept is called, well, what I call perceptual sovereignty. And it's really important, because we sort of seem to be living in an environment at the moment where we're being told that we need to be tolerant and we need to be inclusive and we need to sort of work towards equality, which all sound like lovely words. But they're not lovely words and they're not kind words if we are excluding certain identities from expressing their opinion and not others. For example, one could say, well, one is against racism, but one is inclusive. But then how can you be inclusive to people who are racist? I'm not saying that I'm necessarily arguing for anybody being racist. I'm just saying that there are things where tolerance, inclusion, and equality begin to fall down. What you do find in this current zeitgeist is that the state is really trying to eliminate contrast, eliminate the things that people would naturally disagree with, and it's okay to disagree, and it's even better to be able to recognize that and agree to disagree. So there are paradoxes that are going on here, and I think we need to be very conscious of them. And that's why I really want to promote the idea of perceptual sovereignty, because we wouldn't be able to see the contrast between things, say between black and white, or wet or dry, if we didn't have the information available to us, to our consciousness, for us to be able to sift through and make some sort of judgment as to whether one thing is black or the other thing is white or whatever it is. So the idea of having the luxury of being able to say, well, we need to be tolerant or we need to be inclusive, rests on the bedrock of us being able to have a perception, of us being able to have a state of consciousness that can discern between one thing or the other. And it seems to me that if we are moving into a place where these ideas, these buzzwords are being used in a way that excludes one level of perception in favor of another, then it's not tolerant, it's not inclusive, and it's not working towards equality at all. So that really is my thought today. That the idea of perceptual sovereignty is most important. You notice, like, often when we sort of look at the zeitgeist at the moment, we are being pushed into arguing over, well, this person is this or this person is that, and then it sort of ends up with sort of name calling, where we're kind of like slurring people who we disagree with one name, but then they might be doing the same back to us, and as a result of that, we are sort of getting our corns locked, so to speak, between these divides. And it's all very well, but if we value the fact that either one of us may have an opinion or an idea or a perception which is more important or needs to be heard, then we value the mechanics of perception. And if you look closely, you'll notice that these things that we're being compelled to argue about or, fight with over about are all sort of secondary things. They're symptomatic of the power of perception and the importance of perception. So it's really important that we acknowledge, if we are to expect to live in a world where we don't all agree, that we all have different points of view, that we are all in fact unique, and as the the woke state would like to celebrate diverse. Well, you can't have diversity if everything's just a complete mush. You can't have diversity if every form of individual perception is reduced to one single perception. And as a result of that, I would argue very heavily that we need to be very conscious of asserting that perceptual sovereignty is essential in moving forwards for a free society, freedom of speech, freedom of thought, and all the things that we really value as humans. Otherwise, we just end up ending up in a world where robots are constantly checking to make sure we're not human. Anyway, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and thank you for existing, and I will speak to you again. Bye-bye.